guys, I'm Aussie Villain, and welcome to the channel news update for June of 2020. Now, a few things I want to touch on today. It's the Discord channel that we've started, or Discord server that we've started, and also an update on Patreon. There is a new sales tax thing I just want to quickly go through for the benefit mostly of my people who support me on Patreon. But as ever, we'll start with a quick look at how the channel's been going. And it's kind of leveled out a little bit, to be honest. I mean, last month I know I was a little bit disappointed, but I think it was Ryan Moss that pointed out this is the time of year that usually numbers start to drop away anyway, just the cycle of Football Manager, and I think with no baseball as well. In real life, it's maybe hurting a little bit how things are going on the baseball side of things. So it just it is what it is. But everything is still, so the numbers are relatively stable. We're still gaining subscribers, or I'm still gaining subscribers, I should say, which is good. Revenue's gone down, but I think as much as anything, a lot of that's going to have to do with just the climate that we're in now. There's no one's advertising. So I think that could be as much about that as anything else. But overall, I'll have a quick look here at the reach. Again, everything is down over the last 28 days, but as I said, that's to be expected. It is, as I said, it is what it is. So yeah, I'm not gonna complain this month. We can see there, I mean, traffic sources. I don't know what of this, if anybody is of interest to people, but we can see all of that information there. Engagement. What we've got here, watch time is down a little bit, average duration is down a little bit, but not too much. That's really negligible, isn't it? 6%. And the audience is over 10,000 unique viewers, which is good. 2.4 views per viewer, which is excellent. And like I say, subscribers is down a little bit, but again, time of the year that is again to be expected. And the revenue, if you are interested in that, it is down a little bit, but as much as anything, I think that's just down to the time of that the world is in as much as anything else. So that's the channel, generally looking good. We're sort of leveled out, as I said, and given, again, looking at it positively, given the time of the year that it is, the fact that it's leveled out is maybe a good sign, because usually it would be dropping away come sort of May, June, July. So that just is what it is. All right, now the Discord. There is a link to the Discord down in the description if you're not already involved, and please do come and get involved. I'm having a lot of fun on the Discord. Now, one thing I did want to look for a little bit of feedback with is what you guys want it to be as well. I don't necessarily just want it to be me posting about the series. So what would you like it to be? Any thoughts? Let me know in the comments. I've changed it a little bit just over the last day or two. I've sort of separated it into Out of the Park Baseball and Football Manager as sort of different text channels. Now, what I've done with Out of the Park Baseball is this: for each of the series, the Baseball Journeyman and the Blue Jays, there's a general chat channel, which is for those two. And then, as was suggested here by Citizen Nev, which was I'll put an edit point there just in case anybody hasn't watched the Blue Jays yet. But then there's a post-game channels there as well, so that if you've watched the games, we can discuss that. But you won't risk ruining a game for somebody in sort of the general chat. So there's two channels for each one. Don't go to the post-chat game one unless you've watched the most recent video, would be my advice, so you don't get any spoilers. And otherwise, everything will take place, or the general chat will take place in the general chat channels. Football Manager, I haven't done that as of yet, but is that something that you think you would like to? Do we have sort of a post-game chat for the Journeyman for the Dean Smith and for the Barletown one, or do we just keep going with what we have here? Thoughts on that? I didn't know if you guys wanted to have a section, like to sort of share your how you guys are doing in saves as well, because I am generally interested in how other people's saves how other people get on in their saves as well. So I don't know if that's something that you would want to look to have added. If you are somebody that has your own YouTube channel, I know there's a couple of guys in the chat that in the Discord that do have their own YouTube. I don't mind if you share information about your episodes. What I don't necessarily want it to become, and it's not necessarily that I would mind you guys that are already here that have YouTube channels posting links. What I don't want it to become is just then anybody just rocks up and starts posting links. So I'd rather not links, to be honest. But if you have information, then there's updates, I should say, about how your save is going. If we do want to do that, and that's something that you guys want to do, I've got no problem with you guys posting sort of updates on your save if that's what you want to do, and hopefully people will go and check you out if they're interested in what they see. But that is the Discord. There is a link again down in the description. Please do go and get involved. It's open to everybody, and I've really been enjoying it. So hopefully you guys have as well. And the last thing I wanted to update you on was Patreon. Patreon's going fine. I mean, not that it's appreciated, as I always say, if people are able to support me on Patreon and they do enjoy the content. We've lost I think we've lost a couple of Patreons, gained a couple of Patreons, but overall the amount has dropped off a little bit. But again, it's the time that we find ourselves in. Make sure that you look after yourselves first, and if you do need the extra cash, then please don't hesitate to cancel. And if things improve later on, once the world gets back to something resembling normal, you can always pick it back up again. That's going to be absolutely fine. But one thing I did want to update you on, I don't really know the best place to put you on to see this, is that there is, and I don't know if you guys have got any information from Patreon either, but I've been getting emails that there's going to be sales tax applied to certain people. I've gone through as best I can. I'm not a tax expert, so I don't completely know what I'm talking about here, but I've gone through, I think for what I understand, the reason there's sales tax is based on the tier system, and what you get as part of the tiers. Now obviously, rightly or wrongly, maybe it's making you look a little bit of a tight ass, but you don't necessarily get too much. I mean, I try to give little perks in the games and stuff, but you're not getting sent out, like t-shirts or you're not getting like cheap tickets or anything like that. And I think, from what I understand, that's more what this sales tax thing is involved in. So I've gone through the tiers and sort of basically said, to the best of my knowledge, what the information that they want as to what you're getting, which is kind of like just recognition. You're not actually getting any tangible goods for it. So hopefully it's not going to affect anybody. It's supposed to start July 1st, so not the June donation, but I'm assuming that would be obviously the July donation. If you do notice anything there, if you have any other questions, please do let me know. I'll look into it as best I can for you. I'm hoping that I've sort of labeled everything, all the perks correctly, so that it'll minimize any sales tax that it gets applied. And yeah, like I say, if you do have any questions, please do ask me, and I'll do my best to find the answers for you. It's a little bit difficult for me because, as I said, I'm not a tax expert, so I don't really know what I'm talking about. But if you do notice something different in the July donation, then that's probably what it is. From what I can understand, I don't think it's going to apply to people in the EU or the UK. I think it's some states in the US. I think it was Australia, Quebec in Canada, and a few other, New Zealand and a few other countries as well. So yeah, if you do notice it, that in July, that's what it is. If you need to adjust your donation accordingly, then again, I understand that. And if you do have any questions, please do not hesitate to let me know. But that is it for today. I'd like to try and keep these short and sweet where possible. Actually, no, before we go, there was one other thing I did want to, I needed to tell you guys and get your feedback on. The polls that I do in the video for like goals of the season, player of the year nominations, those polls are getting taken away, which is a real pain in the backside. I think they're brilliant, but apparently I'm the only person on YouTube that uses them. So that's not going to be an option as of June 10th. So that gives us a little bit of a sticky situation as to what we do for goal of the season and for sort of viewers player of the year and any other sort of vote that we do in game like or in videos like that. From what I can see, I think there's probably two options that we have. The first option is that there's still going to be the option to, I'm still able to do polls in the community tab here. So, similar to like what I did with the baseball journeyman, we do it in the community tab, and sort of, so I'll put the vote there and then, who will goal of the season. The problem I see with that is that, for example, goal of the season, you're not going to see the goals. You're going to have to watch the video, then go and click somewhere else. And I can see that being a little bit of a pain in the backside. The other option that I could think of is that if we were to use something like a straw poll, and I could put a link to the straw poll in the video description, and then it's not as convenient because it's not just like click the eye and it's right there in the video. You would have to go looking for it a little bit. But would it be better to then go and put a link to a straw poll or some other polling site in the description, and then we can vote that way. So let me know what you're thinking on that as well, because yeah, it's a real pain in the yeah, pain in the backside, like I said, that they're taking that away. But yeah, they're sort of the two options that I can think of. If you do have another idea, then I'm all ears for that. I was really hoping I could use the eye to link to a straw poll, but that doesn't look like it's going to be an option from what I can see with the research that I've done. So, yeah, suggestions on that as well. All right, we're done this time. Take care.